there, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, there's a huge tsunami hurricane going on right now. And you can tell how little sound protection I really have in here. So you gotta be careful, you have to record on ideal days. It sucks. But hopefully you can hear me. And this illustrates why I like to do things when I can directly into the Zoom, because then you eliminate the whole miking thing, adding more ambient noise, more room tone that sucks anyway, and something like this would shut you down for the night. So I'm grateful that I can do that. And I think I forgot to mention in that video that you want to make sure you have your high Z on, because you have an instrument going in. So I always click that on when I'm plugging directly in, like with a guitar. Okay, so now cleanup. I want to show you what I did. Very simple. I'm doing less and less these days, just because I'm getting everything sounding good in the first place. Then you don't have to do all this so much cleanup. But I'm just cutting down the steps. You can always do more later. You can always take it back in and do more. So I start with the least amount of affecting the track as possible. And then if I need to do more, I can always do more. Alright, so let's see here. Bass guitar, I'm going to just show you what I just did. I cleaned it up. I made a movie about it. What I did was I made a folder on my desktop called New Album 2021, and I've dragged the 4 or 5 songs that I've completed so far. Let's see, I don't remember how many there are, but I'm now keeping those there, and I'm dragging the projects over as I add things to them, and then just merging the new stuff in. That way I immediately have a backup on my computer, and I can do it here on the computer as long as I remember to do it every day. Then you would have a difference. This would have old stuff in it, this could have new stuff, or vice versa. So you have to be diligent about making sure you do your updating of your files, back and forth. But I put it on a folder on here, and I found that the bass track is mono 11, mono 011. So I drag it over to Audacity, which opens up Audacity, and then we look at our WAV file here, and it looks pretty darn good. It looks fine. It's not too hyped or anything. And with bass, I'm always worried about peaks, and no really major peaks. So like I said, this is getting better for me. So classic filters, I'm going to only drop it to 40. You could always do it more if you wanted to, or you could redo it. But I don't want to lose the kind of rich, deep tone I have, so I'm not going to cut it all the way off like I would guitars. And I may change my mind about that, but for now. Alright, so I may amplify it just a tad to just lift the level. I could always double it, like we've done before. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We'll see what happens. If the final mix needs more bass, you can always double it at that point. Make a copy of it, drag it in bass 1 and bass 2, bass A and bass B, whatever you want to do. Alright, at this point now, that's all I'm going to do with it. It's super quiet. It's directly into the Zoom. Not to worry about noise reduction or any of that. I'm going to export it at 16-bit. WAV, Microsoft, and I'm going to title it Bass GTR, and export is done. Now let's hear it back and see what we think. Okay, so let me unplug this. We won't need headphones anymore, obviously. They've done their duty, so they're wrapped. Go over there. Alright. Okay, so let's start on the playback by just playing the bass isolated. Let me unplug our cable here. And like I've said before, I always recommend tracking with the Zoom unplugged. That way your mic cables don't land on the power cable. This is a little thin, nothing power cable with hardly any conduit or insulation wrapped around it, not much shielding. It's just a freaking wire. So if that sits on something else that may not have the greatest shielding, there's going to be some noise. So I always just unplug it. I'm going to leave it plugged in now so I eat up my battery power while I'm in here. because I use rechargeable, and it takes a while to get them recharged and everything. So I'm going to conserve my battery for tracking only. I don't mind if there's a slight noise while I'm playing back in here. It's gotten quiet, so let me just stop yapping, start playing back. Okay, I'm going to start it all the way down at 0 because I don't know how loud it's going to be. I don't want to blow everybody's ears up. So I always unplug it when I track. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so let's just play back the bass track itself first. Got a little lull in our hurricane out here, so maybe we'll be able to hear it. This is the take I got. Everything's pretty much the same as I did. I did go back low on that one part that I mentioned because I was playing it higher. I decided it lost some kind of something when it was always high. Okay, wait, it got past me. So that sounds kind of nice and rich already. I didn't waste too much time listening to it. I had it on headphones, and as soon as I could tell that it was okay, and then I did the cleanup and that was okay, but it's really nice to hear it playing back and sounding like a bass guitar. All right, here we go. Now bring sounds like all hell's continuing to break loose out here, but I think that sounds okay. The part is really simple. You know, if I was a really good bass player, I might have done a bunch of other stuff, but it provides bass. It does, you know, it does what it needs to do. So I think I'm okay with it. And realizing now that it's down to vocals, which is always the hardest part for me. I mean, it's just, you're asking your voice to deliver, you know, and it's just a muscle. It's like part of your body. It's not like playing a guitar or something. So that always brings it, a little anxiety with it. But everything's going so well with this tune. The last one was the same way. It's like I feel like I'm on a good, lucky streak right now. I need to stay active. Don't let it back up. Like don't let the momentum stop. I've got to just keep trying to come up with new tunes and keep this thing going, so I can finish this record and be ready for some live shows again. Promote this record by playing out live and everything. All right, next time. Thanks.